You've come back, dear soul. And heaven rejoices when even one heart leans in to listen. You are not here by chance. You are here because your spirit was drawn by something higher, something deeper, something only God could whisper. So come close. Set everything else down. Let your soul listen beyond the noise. There is more for you here, more than comfort, more than confirmation. There is clarity. You see, many think love ends when it's quiet, when communication stops, when distance stretches wide. But the truth is, some love stories don't end. They transform. They go underground, like roots in winter, growing where no one can see. And God allows it. Not because He wants you to suffer, but because He wants you to be strengthened. Because what He's building in you will carry a covenant. Not just a feeling, not just chemistry, but a holy purpose. This marriage is not about fixing your loneliness. It's about fulfilling God's design. And for that to happen, both of you had to go through something deeper. Something that stripped away the false versions of love. Something that made you face yourself. Something that made them face God. What's shocking is not just that they're coming back, it's who they've become. Because you won't be reuniting with the same person. You'll be meeting the version of them God shaped in the fire. The one who learned reverence. The one who knows what it means to honor love. The one who doesn't run from the sacred anymore. And you have changed too. You're not who you were when you first met. You've matured, you've deepened. You've stopped trying to force God's hand and started trusting His heart. And that trust, that surrender, it's what made room for this miracle to unfold. They are being awakened right now by dreams, by memories, by the deep realization that no one else has carried their soul in prayer like you did, that no one else saw them the way you did, through God's eyes. They thought they could move on, but heaven didn't let them, because God knows the weight of covenant, and this is no ordinary connection. This is the kind of love that brings healing through humility, not through performance, not through grand gestures, but through repentance, through recognition. They are beginning to feel it, the tug on their spirit, the holy ache for something they once overlooked, and they are beginning to weep, not just with regret, but with reverence, because they see now that what was given to them in you was sacred. Let these words find you gently, not to rush you, not to stir anxiety, but to give your soul what it's longed for. Confirmation. Yes, beloved, the marriage is real. The delay was divine, and the reunion will be drenched in God's glory. If this message is washing over you like rain on dry ground, may I gently invite you to stay close to this peaceful space. Subscribe so your heart is nourished with each sacred word we share. Leave your reflection in the comments, your prayer, your longing, or simply a yes to God's timing. And if you feel led to help this message touch more lives, you may leave a super thanks as a seed of support and faith. It helps us continue bringing peace to hearts like yours. Now, breathe with me. He is not only bringing someone back to you, He's bringing them into alignment with their calling. And in that alignment, they will see you differently. They will speak differently. They will walk in the fear of the Lord, not in fear of love. You are not forgotten. Your covenant is not denied. And what's coming will silence every mocking voice that said it was over. Because when God writes a story, He also protects it. He hides it when necessary. He humbles both hearts in the process. And then, He reveals it, not with noise, but with peace. That's what you'll know it by. Not chaos, but peace. Not confusion, but confirmation. Striving, but stillness. Because God doesn't just return people, He resurrects purpose. And that's what this union carries. Purpose. This love will serve others. This marriage will glorify Him. This story will redeem more than you can imagine. And when the final moment comes, the one heaven has saved for last, you will know it by the trembling in your spirit, not from fear, but from awe. Because the One who left will look into your eyes and not only say, "I'm sorry, but I see you now." And they'll say, "I finally asked God, and He showed me. He showed me you. You are not crazy. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared for the sacred. The story is not over. The page is just turning. So stay soft. Stay open. Stay prayerful. And keep looking up, not around, because what is meant for you is on its way to you on holy ground. If this message has touched your soul, subscribe to keep walking this sacred journey with us. Leave a comment if you'd like to share your heart. We read everyone. Share this video if you feel someone else needs to remember that God finishes what He starts. And if the Spirit places it on your heart, you're welcome to support this peaceful ministry with a super thanks, so more souls can be reached with this kind of gentle truth. You are loved. You are held. And heaven is not done yet. Return for part 3 when your spirit is ready to receive what comes next. Peace to your soul. In Jesus' name, you're back. And heaven takes notice every time a soul leans closer to truth. Even now God is drawing you deeper, closer, into a revelation that's been waiting for your heart to be ready. And ready you are. So breathe. This is not a message for your mind to analyze. It's for your spirit to absorb. Because the love story God is writing in your life is not like the ones you've seen around you. It's not scripted by culture or pressure or fear. It's sculpted by heaven. And it will be revealed in God's perfect time. But before the final chapter unfolds, you must know what heaven has been doing behind the scenes. While you waited, God was working. While you cried, He was carving purpose out of the pain. And while you felt like nothing was moving, everything was being rearranged. You were never forgotten. Not once, not even when they turned away. Not even when silence lingered. God was allowing distance, not for punishment, but for preparation. He was shielding both of you from entering something prematurely, because premature love leads to premature pain. And this was always meant to last. You see, the person you're connected to was being awakened slowly. God was unearthing the layers around their heart, removing the idols, exposing the false security, stripping away the illusions of control, until they could finally hear what He's been saying all along. You cannot love them right until you've surrendered fully to me. That's what's been happening. Not rejection, refinement. Not abandonment, alignment. God wasn't saying no. He was saying, not yet, not like this. Let me prepare the vessel first. And now, beloved soul, the shift is happening. They're starting to see not just your face, but your spirit. Not just the memories, but the meaning. They're starting to realize that no one held space for them like you did. That no one prayed for them in secret like you did. That no one reflected the heart of God to them like you did. And what's more shocking is that while they've been waking up to this truth, you've been rising into the fullness of your identity. You've grown quieter in your soul. Not anxious. Not chasing. Just still. And that stillness, that peace, it's a sign of spiritual maturity. You're not waiting for someone to fix you. You're standing in the truth that you are already made whole in Christ. You are not the same person who longed for them before. You're wiser now, more discerning. You no longer want the version of them who couldn't see you. You want the version God has sanctified, and that's who's coming. Not the old them, not the broken them, but the healed, humbled, spirit-filled them. They are not coming because they miss you. They're coming because they finally see you through heaven's lens, and they're trembling with reverence. They thought they were walking away from a person, but they were walking away from an answered prayer. They thought time would dull the bond, but it only deepened it, because real love doesn't die. It gets refined, and this love has passed through fire. Heaven isn't interested in shallow unions. God is restoring what He ordained. And when He restores, He redeems every moment lost. Even now, they're feeling the pull. They're sensing the nearness of the divine. They don't fully understand it yet, but they're learning to follow it. Soon, they will reach out. Not in confusion, but in clarity. Not in fear, but in faith, because the time is approaching. The moment heaven has been holding back is almost ready to be released, but until then, continue to guard your heart. Not from love, but from distraction. Protect your peace. Pray over your spirit. Let God continue to prepare you to receive what is holy, because this marriage isn't just about love. It's about legacy. And God is entrusting you both with something sacred. If your spirit feels this word deeply, I invite you to stay close to this peaceful space. Subscribe so your heart continues to receive what heaven is speaking. Leave a comment if this resonates. Your words are a light to others walking this same path. And if this message has nourished your soul, you can support this space through a super thanks. A simple act that helps us keep sharing peace with more weary hearts. Now come back to the promise. God saw every lonely moment, every prayer that ended in tears. Every day you chose trust over bitterness. You were never forgotten. You were being honored in ways you couldn't yet perceive. The one God has for you, they are not your reward. They are your partner in purpose. Heaven will make it clear. There will be no guessing. No striving, no confusion. Just peace. And when they stand before you, you won't need to ask, "Why did you leave?" Instead, you'll hear them say, "God showed me who you are, and I never want to walk away again." The most shocking moment won't be their return. It will be the way your heart stays calm. The way your spirit says, "I knew you were coming. I just didn't know when." Because God told you. Long before you saw the fruit, you felt the seed take root. So now you wait. Not with anxiety, but with expectancy. Not with fear, but with faith. You are closer than you think, closer than it looks. Heaven is aligning it all. If you feel that holy stirring in your chest, subscribe to walk this sacred path with us. Let your voice be heard in the comments below. We're listening with love. Share this with someone whose soul needs reassurance. And if the Spirit nudges you, leave a super thanks to help this message reach more hearts longing for God's truth. The marriage is real. The delay is divine. And heaven has saved the best for last. Return for part 3 when your heart is ready. There is more, and it's beautiful. Peace be with you, always. Welcome back, beloved soul. You've walked far. You've endured quietly. You've kept believing, even with no visible sign. And heaven has been watching, not to judge, but to reward your faith. What's unfolding now is the moment your spirit always knew was coming. A moment not built on human effort, but born in the heart of God. A moment heaven has been holding, until the soil of your soul was ready to receive it. And now, it is. The one you've been praying for, the one you've cried over, the one whose absence created a space only God could hold. They are not just coming back, they are being led. Led by something holy, led by the quiet echo of your name in their spirit, led by conviction, not guilt, led by the mercy of a God who never gave up on them. Because the most shocking moment isn't just about reconciliation, it's about resurrection. God is not just restoring a relationship, He's awakening a purpose. You both had to be broken. You both had to be emptied. You both had to reach the end of yourselves so you could begin again, in Him. And now, it's happening. They are beginning to see, not just the memory of who you were to them, but the miracle of who you are in God. They are realizing that this love was never ordinary. That the connection they tried to bury keeps rising again, because it was planted in eternity. It's not nostalgia. It's not regret. It's revelation. They are seeing the divine thread. They are tracing back the moments, the words, the tears you never told them about. And suddenly, it all makes sense, because when God reveals, He does it completely. And now they see you. In dreams, in prayer, in places they never expected your presence to linger. Your name, once whispered in their spirit, is now burning in their heart, not with obsession, but with awe. They see how patient you were, how faithful, how willing to love without demand. And they know only a heart aligned with God could have carried them like that. They are returning, but not to pick up where things left off. They are returning to build something new, something consecrated, something God-authored. And you are not waiting with bitterness. You are standing in quiet strength. You are ready, but not desperate. Hopeful, but not naive. Because you know now, if it's not rooted in God, you'd rather let it go. But this is different. This is sacred. This is what your spirit recognized long before your eyes did. And heaven is making it undeniable. There will be confirmation. There will be clarity. There will be a moment when your eyes meet again, and peace washes over both of you. That moment is what heaven saved for last, because the wait wasn't punishment. It was protection. You were hidden for a reason. They couldn't see you clearly before because their heart wasn't healed. Now that it is, you shine differently. Not just with beauty, but with spiritual authority. You carry peace now. You walk with God now. You no longer need someone to fill a void. You are full, and from that fullness, you are ready to receive love that honors your soul. So take this moment, beloved, and breathe. Let the tears come if they need to. Let your heart be tender. God is near. The veil is lifting. And this is the kind of love that only heaven could write. If these words are echoing inside your soul, pause and receive. And if you feel led, subscribe to stay close to this peaceful space. Leave a comment to share your heart or your prayer. We lift each one with reverence. If this message has blessed you, you're welcome to share it with someone whose spirit is weary. And for those who feel called, a super thanks is a way to sow into this mission of reaching more hearts with God's gentle truth. Every seed sown in love, He multiplies. Now, listen closely. The moment they return will not come with fireworks. It will come with stillness, with the kind of peace that makes you breathe deeper, not hold your breath. You won't have to ask, do they mean it? Because their actions will answer for them. They'll ask for forgiveness, not out of guilt, but because their heart has been cleansed. They'll approach you, not as someone entitled to your love, but as someone grateful for your grace. And in that moment, you'll realize this isn't just a reunion. It's a divine unveiling, because God isn't just giving you back what you lost. He's giving you something greater than what you imagined, and it's not just for your joy. It's for His glory. This love will be a testimony. This marriage will be a ministry. This journey will heal others who thought it was too late, because when God redeems, He does it in full view. And what you thought was forgotten, He was only saving for last. The final chapter is not the end, it's the beginning. And what you're about to step into is holy ground. If your heart is ready, stay close to this sacred space. Subscribe so your soul continues to be nourished. Speak your truth in the comments. Your voice matters here. Share this message with someone whose faith is flickering. And if the Spirit leads, you may offer a super thanks to help this message touch even more weary hearts. This is not just a story. This is your calling. This is your confirmation. This is your covenant that marriage is real, and heaven has brought it into alignment. Now, watch what happens next. Peace to your soul. You are deeply loved. And this is only the beginning. You're still here, beloved soul. That says more than you realize. Because a heart that keeps listening, even when the answers aren't immediate, is a heart that's being refined by heaven. And you are being refined. This is not just about waiting for love. It's about being prepared for glory. It's about letting go of what you thought it would look like, and opening your hands to what God wants to reveal. Because what's coming isn't just a marriage to another person. It's a marriage of spirit and calling. It's a partnership born from God's own desire, not yours alone. And that's why the process has been so sacred. So slow, so mysterious, because something holy takes time. You've been tempted to doubt, to settle, to retreat from believing this kind of love still exists. But heaven didn't let you. Not because you're being teased, but because you're being trusted. You've been entrusted with a love story that doesn't just bless you, it blesses others. It shows what happens when a soul refuses to give up. When a heart says, I will not bow to the pressure of impatience. And the person God has for you, they are beginning to recognize that. Same strength in themselves. They've been learning how to love without possession. They've been learning how to pray instead of pursue. They've been learning that what is meant for them cannot be forced. They once chased noise. Now they are learning silence. They once needed attention. Now they crave peace. And that peace? It's leading them back to you. Because the peace they feel when they think of you is unlike anything they've felt before. It's not tied to your presence. It's tied to your prayers. Your prayers have become the gentle compass pulling their heart back to truth, to God, to purpose. They may not have known it then, but your voice echoed in heaven on their behalf. You stood in the gap when they were weak. You interceded when they were lost. You believed when they stopped believing, and now they feel it. They feel the holy weight of what your soul carried. And they want to carry it with you. They're not coming to be rescued. They're coming to be reborn into someone who finally knows what love looks like in God's eyes. And yes, that love looks like you, but more importantly, it looks like Christ in you. It looks like patience. It looks like trust. It looks like waiting without manipulation. And when they return, they will not take it lightly. They will not come with half-hearted words. They will come with a spirit that has been softened by fire, the kind of fire only God could light. And only love could endure. So if your heart is starting to feel it again, not the ache, but the anticipation, then let this be your confirmation. You didn't miss it. You didn't lose it. You've only been maturing into it. And now, so have they. Take this moment to breathe. To say thank you to God even before it arrives. Because gratitude is a form of faith. And faith is the doorway to fulfillment. And if this message is blessing you right now, you are warmly invited to stay close to this space. Subscribe so your soul never misses these gentle reminders. Leave a comment with your reflection or a prayer. We honor each one as sacred. Share this with someone who may need to hear that God is still writing their story. And if the Spirit places it on your heart, a super thanks is a way to support this peaceful ministry and help this message reach more searching souls. Every small seed carries great purpose in the hands of God. Now, listen closely. You are not just preparing for a marriage. You are preparing to receive a promise, a living promise. A flesh and blood reminder that God heard every single cry. When they look into your eyes again, they will see the same soul, but wrapped in a new strength. You are not the same person. You have been refined. And they have been too. You've both had to face your fears, to surrender your timelines, to be emptied of ego and pride, so that what returns to you will not compete with God, but glorify Him. This love is different. It is clean. It is holy. It is humble. And when it arrives, it will feel like worship. Because it will no longer be about just you and them. It will be about what God can do when two surrendered hearts are finally joined in His time. Let the tears come if they need to. Let the walls down if they're still up. You are safe here. And more than that, you are seen by the one who ordained all of this. God didn't just promise you a person. He promised you a purpose. And that's what's being fulfilled. You may not know the day. You may not recognize the hour. But you will know the feeling. Peace, stillness, clarity, joy. That's how you'll know it's Him. And when the moment finally comes, when they stand before you not in pride, but in surrender, you will remember this moment. this quiet preparation, this long refining. And you'll know it was worth it, because this is the love you prayed for, the love you were shaped for, the love you were never meant to chase, only to receive. So if your heart is stirred, stay close to this sacred space. Subscribe for more peaceful truth from heaven. Share your heart in the comments. We're here with you. Bless someone else with this message if they too are waiting in faith. And if you feel led, you're welcome to leave a super thanks to support the continued creation of content that brings peace to the weary. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not overlooked. The marriage is real. The moment is near. And heaven saved the most breathtaking part for when you'd be strong enough to carry it with grace. Stay soft. Stay faithful. Stay open. Because soon, your heart will hear the words it's been waiting a lifetime to hear. I see you now, and I've come back. Because God sent me home to you. Peace be upon you. Always. Welcome back, beloved soul. If you're still listening, it means something, and you knows this message is not just words, it is confirmation. It's an echo of something God has already whispered to your spirit. It's a reminder that your waiting has never been in vain, that you are not forgotten, you are not invisible. And what God is preparing for you is still unfolding, one sacred layer at a time. Let's continue. Heaven has not finished speaking over this marriage. There are moments ahead so breathtaking, so holy, you'll understand why God kept them hidden until now. The most shocking moment of this love story, the one heaven saved for last, is not a dramatic twist, not a painful goodbye, not even a long-lost return. It's a moment of divine unveiling, a sacred recognition between two souls, where the veil is lifted and they finally see each other, not just with human eyes, but with spiritual clarity. You'll look into their eyes, and you'll realize this is the person God has been preparing. Not just for you, but for their calling, for their healing, for the destiny that intersects with yours. They will not just see your face, they will see your prayers, your sacrifices, your long nights of crying out to heaven. They will recognize the cost of your obedience. And they will weep, not because they're sad, but because the presence of God will fall upon them. They will feel what you felt when you first surrendered your love story to God, overwhelmed, awakened, redeemed. The shock is not in who the person is. It's in how much love God pours into that moment. It's in how perfectly the pieces come together. And it's in the timing. Because when it happens, it won't make sense to your logical mind. It will be too beautiful, too precise, too holy to be anything but God. You will know, this is not a coincidence. This is covenant. And heaven will smile, because you didn't give up, because you waited without bitterness, because you prepared your heart. Beloved soul, if you're still holding on, I want to say this to you with all gentleness. You are not crazy for believing. You are not wrong for loving them through the silence. And you are not alone. Your faith has power. Your love has depth. And God has heard every silent prayer you dared to whisper when no one else understood. This marriage will not just be a relationship. It will be a testimony, a living altar where others will come to see what it means to trust God with something sacred. The years that felt wasted, they were not. The delays that felt cruel, they were not. The lessons you hated, they were necessary. Because God was not just building a love story. He was building you. And them. So when the day comes, and they speak your name with reverence, when they tell you they see the Spirit of God in you, when they hold your hand and say, I finally understand why I had to wait, you'll understand what I mean. Heaven saved the most shocking moment for last. Not because it wanted to tease you, but because some blessings can only arrive when your heart is fully open, your ego is fully surrendered, and your faith is fully alive. Midway through this message, if your spirit is being stirred, please take a quiet moment to subscribe for more peaceful God-centered guidance. Leave a comment with your reflection or prayer request. We read every single one. If this message has touched you, share it with someone else who needs this gentle word. And if you feel led to offer a super thanks, know that your support helps. US continue creating sacred calming content for weary souls just like yours. Let us go deeper. This sacred love, this divine pairing, it will not be defined by worldly patterns. There will be no striving, no proving, no exhausting cycles. Instead, there will be peace. There will be rest. There will be divine agreement. Your souls will recognize each other, not as possessions, but as partners in purpose. And when you pray together, heaven will draw near. Because it will be a union that invites God's presence, not just on the wedding day, but every day after. You will notice it in the small things, the way they pause to bless their food, the way they speak gently when you're overwhelmed, the way they cover you in prayer when they sense your soul is tired, and you'll realize, this isn't just love. This is God in the midst of love. You waited for that. You grew into that. You suffered for that. And now you are ready to receive it. So please, dear one, keep listening, keep trusting, keep tending the soil of your heart. The harvest is coming. And when it comes, the tears you cried in secret will be transformed into tears of wonder, because the final moment, the one that heaven saved for last, will not just surprise you. It will heal you. Stay with me for part 6. Let's finish this sacred journey together. Welcome back, dear soul. Let us return to this quiet, sacred space where your heart can breathe, where truth can speak softly and love can settle gently upon you. You've come so far in this journey, and heaven still has one more whisper to share. Marriage is real, and yet, heaven saved the most shocking moment for last. It is not the day you walk down the aisle. It is not even the joy of becoming one in holy covenant. The moment that changes everything is when you realize God didn't just bring this person into your life to fulfill a promise, but to reflect his heart back to you. That moment, when their love reveals a side of you you forgot. God planted that moment when their prayers sound like ones you used to cry, but gave up. On that moment, when they see the wounded parts you hid from everyone, and instead of pulling away, they draw nearer and call those places sacred, because they hold the fingerprints of your becoming. This is the moment heaven waits for, not the ceremony, not the celebration, but the soul recognition, where two people who were once strangers are no longer separate, because when God ordains a marriage, he ordains a miracle, and sometimes that miracle shows up in the quiet glances, the silent forgiveness, the unspoken prayers at 3 a.m., the laughter that feels like healing, and the touch that feels like home. This is not just about romance. This is about restoration. You didn't just get married. You were redeemed through love. There is something so holy about the way they look at you now, as if they've seen every scar, and still say, "You are the one God wrote into my story." There's something sacred in how you rise each day beside them, not needing to be perfect, just willing to be present, willing to grow, willing to forgive again and again, because love like this, it doesn't avoid the valley, it walks through it. Holding hands, saying, "If God is for us, nothing can be against us." You are not alone anymore, and yet even in this closeness, God remains the center. That's the key to this marriage. The two of you didn't just find each other. You found your way to the altar of God's presence together, and every time you pray together, every time you surrender together, every time you choose peace over pride, you're stepping deeper into the covenant heaven designed for you. Can you feel it? The weight of his glory on your love? It humbles you, because you know you didn't earn it, but grace placed it in your hands anyway, and so now you are not just husband and wife, you are living testimonies of what God can restore, what he can right, what he can resurrect. There will still be storms, but your foundation is not built on emotion. It is built on revelation. You were chosen for one another, and no matter what comes, you will choose each other again and again. Let this marriage reflect the patience of God, the faithfulness of God, the gentleness of God, and the strength of God, not just for each other, but for every soul that witnesses your love, because sometimes the marriage itself becomes the ministry. Dear one, if this message has touched your spirit today, I gently invite you to support this peaceful space. Subscribe to receive more soul-nurturing messages. Leave your reflections or prayer requests in the comments. Share this video with someone whose heart may need reminding that true love is still written by the hand of God. And if this word has blessed you deeply, you may offer a super thanks as a way to help this message reach more tender souls, longing for peace, clarity, and divine reassurance. Every gift given here multiplies the light now. Take a deep breath with me and listen for what heaven is whispering. Now it's saying, the final moment wasn't at the altar. It was when you looked into their eyes and saw me. The one who knows you fully, still chose to stay, still chose to love, still chose to walk with you into forever. And now you know this marriage was not the end of the waiting, but the beginning of the wonder. Go forth gently, hand in hand, heart in heart, spirit to spirit. Let the world see what heaven has done. Amen.